John chapter 11, verses 1 through 29. Now a man was sick, Lazarus from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. Mary was the one who anointed the Lord with perfume and wiped his feet with her hair, and it was her brother Lazarus who was sick. So the sisters sent a message to him, Lord, the one you love is sick. When Jesus heard it, he said, this sickness will not end in death, but is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. What he didn't mean was that he won't die. He did die, right? But it would not end in death. Why? Because when he died, it was not finished yet. That was just the beginning. Because God still intended for him to be glorified through this situation of him dying, as he is, and as we'll read. So the sisters sent a message to him, Lord, the one you love is sick. When Jesus heard it, he said, this sickness will not end in death, but is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now, Jesus loved Martha, her sister, and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after that, he said to the disciples, let's go to Judea again. Rabbi, the disciples told him, just now the Jews tried to stone you, and you're going there again? Yes, even after these Jews tried to stone Jesus Christ, he still went there again. With open arms, with an open heart, to preach to these people, to show these people. So don't think that the tossing pearls to pigs is for people that don't receive you at that moment. I mean, that is for people that reject you at that very moment. For all time. That's it. I'm going to just turn my back on somebody and block them out of my life because I disagree with them on this point. They didn't want to receive my wisdom. Because that is not what God intended when it came to the saying that he said of tossing pearls to pigs. Do not toss pearls to pigs. What he is referring to is when you're talking to somebody and they get into the mindset of the walls built up, they're defensive now. They're no longer going to receive what you're telling them. Right at that very moment, you're tossing a pearl to a pig because they're not going to receive it. They're in their anger right now. They're enraged right now. And they're not going to receive anything you're saying. Doesn't mean that tomorrow you can't come back to that same person when he calmed down and try talking to him again and reaching out to him again. Even though he rejected you last time, it's not your place to worry about if he's going to receive it or he's going to reject you. It's your place to do God's will. And if Jesus lived as an example of how we are to be here on this earth, Jesus went right back to the place where they just tried stoning him to preach to them some more and to raise somebody from the dead so that he could show them and be glorified and glorify his Father in front of them. You understand? Aren't there 12 hours in a day? Jesus answered. If anyone walks during the day, he doesn't stumble because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks during the night, he does stumble because the light is not in him. See, that's the thing. You got to have the light in you. You got to have the understanding in you. So whether you're in darkness or not, you are illuminated. You'll be the city on the hill. Right? You'll be the light that people put up on a high shelf in the house to give light to the whole house. Because the light comes from within you. This is what you are to be. Don't be the light only on the exterior. Only as long as somebody receives you on the light. No, that's glorifying you. Put that aside. Humble yourself. Allow the light to come from humility, to come from within, whether they want to receive you or not. You continue to shine. You will not be shaken. Because no matter what they throw at you, you cannot be shaken. Because it can't change what he's already done for you and where you stand with him. And that's all that matters. If you're surrendered, if your life is truly surrendered, and you're living for him, it does not matter what somebody thinks of you. If somebody received you or they didn't, you shouldn't worry about going over there and preaching to them again tomorrow because you're worried that they're not going to receive it again. That's not your place. It's not your job to make them understand. That's Holy Spirit's job. Your job is to be obedient and to share with them the truth and the knowledge and the word that God and the Holy Spirit wants to use you to share with them when he tells you or touches your heart to go back there again. Humble yourself so that you can hear the Spirit clearly. That our own pride and our own puffed upness does not get in the way of us hearing that voice when it tells us to return to that place where they once rejected me, so that he could work. Because a lot of the time our own pride and our own envy will speak louder, so we won't be able to hear him. We'll say, no, the Holy Spirit never told me to go back there again. When really the Holy Spirit was telling you to go back there again, because your work there wasn't finished. He said this, and then he told them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm on my way to wake him up. Then the disciples said to him, Lord, if he has fallen asleep, he will get well. Jesus, however, was speaking about his death, but they thought he was speaking about natural sleep. So Jesus then told them plainly, Lazarus has died. I'm glad for you that I wasn't there, so that you may believe. But let's go to him. By the way, this is a completely different Lazarus than the one that the Catholics and other religions believe in, with the dogs licking the wounds and all that stuff. This is a completely different Lazarus, but they portray it as if it's this guy that they're talking about. Then Thomas, called Twin, said to his fellow disciples, let's go too, so that we may die with him. See, let's let go of ourselves. Let's let go of our own understanding, so that we may die with him. When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, less than 2 miles away. Many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them about their brother. As soon as Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary remained seated in the house. Then Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Yet even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Your brother will rise again, Jesus told her. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me, even if he dies, will live. What does that mean? Jesus is the resurrection. The resurrection comes with him. When he came, Lazarus was going to wake up because the resurrection was with him. It's not a certain day that you need to wait for. The resurrection is going to come with him. When we do put off this flesh, we're going to go be present with him. We're going to go be resurrected with him. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me, even if he dies, will live. Once again, look what he just said. When we die, we will live. Why? Because to live is Christ and to die is gain. Why? Because we're going to go be in his presence. We're going to go join him. Everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she told him. I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who comes into the world. So she believes this. She doesn't believe that we will not put off our flesh one day. For we very well may put off our flesh one day. But we will not die. To die is to be separated from God. We will not die, but we will put off this flesh, get new bodies, and go be with God in his presence. Everyone who lives and believes in me will never die, but do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she told him. I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who comes into the world. Having said this, she went back and called her sister Mary, saying in private, the teacher is here and is calling for you. As soon as Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him.